Yes, my Between the Liners, welcome back to the podcast. This is a match reaction for Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1 at Old Trafford. And I tell you what, should we even be surprised? Chelsea are so bad, man. I just want to start off with that. I know we played well and there's a lot of things that I want to get into, but Chelsea are shit. Like, they made it so easy for us. And I actually don't know, did we play well? Or did Chelsea just allow us to break through at ease at every opportunity? And look, our record of beating the teams lower down in the table, at least in the bottom half of the table, continues. We're managing to grind out wins in a lot of them. Today we created a lot of chances against this Chelsea side. Obviously, the question depends on the teams in the top half of the table, which Chelsea clearly are not right now. But for the moment, I have to say, I enjoyed that game. A lot of that time I was pretty comfortable. We kept creating a lot of chances. Chelsea didn't really threaten us that much. I know they had a few little chances themselves, but overall in the game we had a lot of intensity, a lot of aggression, and that's exactly what United fans and the Old Trafford faithful have been crying out for. And I'm glad that it's finally come. Glad that Ten Hag made a few changes. Let's get into it. We'll talk about the starting lineup first. First things first, I was glad that Luke Shaw was back in his natural position at left back. I've been crying out for an actual left back at left back rather than playing Shaw in centre back and then sticking Dalot out there or something. And you see that the difference having Shaw there, for example, in the first half, Onana can find him with ease because Shaw knows how to play the position and where to be in that position, which I'll get into in a bit. Other positives or other things to take from the starting lineup. There's no Mainu in there, but I don't want people to be over the top. I know a lot of people, United fans especially, before the games were questioning that decision. He's just come back from injury. He's played the last few games. He's had a few tough games against Everton, Galatasaray, and Newcastle. We've got to go easy on the kid. I'm glad Ten Hag took him out the firing line today. You got to protect the kid. He's only 18 years old, coming into a dismantled United side, unorganised United side. We got to ease him in and let him build up to speed of the Premier League. Secondly, who else is starting out? No Rashford. The statement from Eric Ten Hag. He's dropped Marcus Rashford. A lot of us were crying out for it. And in the end, we've won the game, so you can say it's paid off. But it was deservedly so. And I'm glad he dropped Marcus because based on the form, it goes unsaid he had to be dropped, to be honest. And just because he's a star name doesn't mean that he deserves to start every game. One more surprising thing, no Rafael Varane in the squad at all, which is a major concern. If this is the end of Varane's Manchester United career, I'm shocked, to be honest. I didn't imagine it ending up like this. I still personally feel like he should be in the starting 11, regardless of whether Ten Hag prefers Maguire on the right or whatever. Varane should be in the first team in my thinking, but whatever the gaffer says, I'm going to go with, and we've won the game in the end, so can't get too bogged down in it, for now at least. Moving on to the positives of the game, and let's start off with the beginning of the game. The high intensity and the aggression throughout that game was exactly what we've been crying out for as United fans, and it's just baffling as to why we don't see that more often, especially in the first half and the first 10 minutes. I felt like we gave our absolute best, our absolute all, and that's what happens when your team is all on the same page. And that's why you have to drop certain guys like Marcus. Say, for example, Marcus started that game in the first 10 minutes. Would we have been as aggressive, or would we have been able to keep up the intensity like we did? I'm not so sure. So that was one positive, and throughout the whole game it was a constant theme. I want to shout out Reguilon, and I've criticised him in the past before. I didn't understand the transfer before, but Reguilon coming on off the bench and replacing he replaced Lindelof, and Shaw went into centre back. Reguilon at left back, the energy he gave, the passion he has for United, trying to rile up the fans, trying to make the right decisions, passing it when he needs to, hoofing it when he needs to, running down the line, supporting his left winger Garnacho whenever he needed to. The energy he came on with, I loved that. I absolutely loved it. And I don't want to gas up Reguilon too much. He's Spurs' third choice left back or whatever he was last season. But the energy and desire and passion he came on with today with the pitch epitomised some of the United players' performances. I want to shout out Anthony as well, who's taken a lot of criticism this season from a lot of people, including myself. And I know his end product was still lacking today, let's be real. But his energy epitomised the rest of the intensity and aggression coming from a majority of the United players in this game. And I love that. More positives from Anthony. I think he was coming inside a lot, not on the ball, but when he was off the ball, he was drifting into the middle and trying to get in the middle and trying to get onto the ball in the middle, which was creating Chelsea defence problems because Colwell didn't know whether he should come in and track him, and the centre backs didn't know whether they should come out and track him as well. So he had opportunity to kind of create more chances. To be honest, he didn't. His end product is still lacking, to be honest. But he won the penalty in the end. He got fouled by Enzo Fernandez, which was a crazy decision from Enzo Fernandez. And honestly, Chelsea, like I said, I think they were really poor. Did Caicedo and Enzo really impressed today? £220 million worth of midfielders. Did they really have enough in their engine today to try and get about this Manchester United midfield, considering the fit, youthful prospects they are and the energetic prospects that they are, including Palmer in the midfield? That Chelsea balance there's something missing, and I think something Pochettino has to watch out for, otherwise his job's going to be under threat. Like I said in the starting lineup section, Shaw was a massive positive for me today. Just him being there in that left back position is so crucial to our team. Our left side of United team has been a constant theme of our successful attacks throughout the last few years, and he's proven that time and time again. Even today, the amount of times he gets into the right space and is capable of carrying the ball into the opposition's half and capable of finding a cute little pass inside. And he allows, like I said previously in other match reactions where Onana's distribution has looked bad, you put Shaw there in that team, Onana's distribution goes up by 10%. Onana is capable of finding, and I tell you what, I want to shout out Onana today as well. I thought his distribution and his confidence looked a lot better. He made one big save against Nicholas Jackson, and a lot of the punditry and the commentary was about how Nicholas Jackson took a heavy touch and should have buried it. He should have. But also, no one's praising the fact that Onana came out very quickly, could have made a mistake, but he's come at the feet of Nicholas Jackson and collected the ball, and that's very good from Onana. Onana showed very good signs of confidence today in today's game, spraying a few balls out left and right and through the middle with his left and right foot as well. Very pleased with Onana today. Didn't have many saves to make other than maybe the goal. Could you be a bit harsh and say that he could have saved it because it was kind of rolling into the corner? I'm not so sure. I might have to watch that again. Dalot, I thought, provided a good option on the right as well, constantly moved up and down the wing. His end product was lacking a bit, kept smashing it into the box. A couple of times he found Bruno on the edge of the box, to be fair to him, but needs a bit more composure. Sometimes, I think Garnacho had this problem as well. Just find the guy in front of you rather than chipping it into the back post. You can see Højlund is right there, and I felt so sorry for Højlund. He worked his absolute arse off, and I know rival fans will come away from this and say Højlund hasn't scored again. I do not care. He got no support in that game in terms of good opportunities or good chances created for him, and his work rate was non-stop. He was pressing the defenders non-stop. That's the difference between Højlund and Martial, for example. Højlund will give it his all throughout the whole time that he's on the pitch, and that's what we needed today. That's what the Old Trafford faithful have been crying out for. That's why I want to shout out Anthony. I want to shout out Reguilon. I want to shout, oh my God, Amrabat. Sofiane Amrabat has been coming under criticism from United fans, from rival fans. Can you guys not understand? He's not even up to full fitness yet. He's come with no preseason. He's come with an injury. He's come into an unorganised side. And today, I thought, was his best performance in a United shirt by far. That first half, second half, sweeping up, protecting the back four, collecting the ball and pressing the ball in high up areas and then passing it off to the side and the middle as quickly as possible. He might have made one or two misplaced passes in the first half. I'm not too worried about that because overall his positioning was excellent. And his game management was excellent. A lot of things that a lot of the time this season, especially and last season, our game management has been poor. But Reguilon and Amrabat, their game management today was terrific. Honestly, I thought Amrabat was within a shout of getting man of the match shout. Honestly, I know they're giving it to McTominay. McTominay, let's get on to it. First goal, absolutely sensational finish. Let's not get it twisted. That's not easy. And like the Brentford goal he scored in a couple of weeks back, the touch and then the volley. This one's a touch off his right foot and then the volley off his left foot. Unbelievable finish. You have to give him credit. I was even crying out for McTominay to not be in the starting lineup, but I got it because of Mainu being rested. And obviously the last few games I've criticised McTominay, but you have to give him fair play. And to be honest, Chelsea didn't really harm us, so I think it allowed Scott McTominay to push forward, and obviously we're at home, and he had 7 shots in the end. I think United have had an XG of 4 and McTominay is probably an XG of 3 himself. So fair play to McTominay, great finish. And also that first goal started from Amrabat nipping in from Nicholas Jackson, reading the pass that's going to happen and then moving it forward, and good work from Bruno and Garnacho as well. I want to shout out Alejandro Garnacho, because that guy is a star in the making. I keep saying it every video. Today, as far as I'm concerned, I think personally he might have been my man in the match. I know Scott got it, and I understand why he got the 2 goals. Outside of trying to score, which obviously is a main and important thing in football, I get it. But for his overall performance on the game, I honestly think Garnacho was man of the match. That was his best performance coming from a start that I've seen, maybe in a United shirt. He hasn't had a better game overall in 90 minutes or 85 minutes, whatever he played throughout the whole game like that today. I thought Cucurella did fairly well against him, and then when Reece James came on, I thought Garnacho actually did better against James than he did against Cucurella. The amount of times that he got past him, the amount of times that he whipped in, the only thing he was lacking was his end product. And I'm sure it's going to come. That relationship with Højlund, I hope, is going to build and build the more they play together. I think it's coming. That Højlund-Garnacho relationship is coming. Garnacho, honestly, sensational. His work rate, his decision making today, just the end product was lacking. He's constant running down the line. His ability to beat a man, unbelievable, Garnacho. And for me personally, he might be my man in the match. Other than that, like I've said about Højlund, I've said about Reguilon. McTominay scored the second goal. Garnacho assist, and I was just talking about his end product, and in the end he's proven that he's capable of providing the end product as well. A great cross on his right foot. McTominay popping up with a goal again. I can't believe it, to be honest. Fair play to McTominay. Right place, right time, and you cannot take that away from him. Honestly, I thought great energy from the team overall, great intensity, great aggression. You know what? You got to give fair play to Maguire as well. I thought he had a good game defensively as well. Wasn't really needed to pass out from the back, which has been a bit of a criticism from him in previous games. So I think that wasn't too much of a worry. Bruno, I thought, worked his arse off again. Sometimes he does that thing where he takes one touch too many or tries one little flashy skill too many. And today I thought he tried to calm that down a lot. He put in a great shift for the team and he tried to pass it out sensibly. You can see that Bruno and Garnacho are building up a relationship together. A few little nice 1-2s. Overall, a really positive performance from the team. I can't pick out anyone that really had a bad game. Can you guys? Like I've said, Anthony, I thought, had his best game in a while. Amrabat had his best game in a United shirt. Shaw had a great start and then slotted into centre-back pretty seamlessly. Garnacho, I think, was his best start in a United shirt. Dalot maybe needs a bit of improvement, but we've known that. Lindelof, did he have to do much? He came off at half-time. I don't know why. Was that a tactical change from Ten Hag? And honestly, it worked. Reguilon, honestly, I think he changed the intensity of the game. He took it up another level, because in the first half, there was a point where we were dominating the game a little. We came out with a lot of intensity. Then Chelsea have got the goal. And then we've kind of reverted back to type, kind of allowed Chelsea to get a foothold in the game. Whereas when Reguilon came on in the second half, it was almost like the intensity switched again and we were straight onto Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea were pretty penned in their half throughout most of that game. And I've seen the XG. I think our XG was 4 and Chelsea's was 1.9 or 1.8 or something. So we've on the basis of creating goal scoring chances, we deserve the win. Possession was actually 45% to 55%, I believe. We've had 9 shots on target to Chelsea's 3. We've had 28 shots in the game overall. Great intensity, great aggression. Very pleased overall with the performance. Looking at the negatives now, obviously Bruno Fernandes has missed a penalty. I hate that run up, to be honest. Me personally, you guys know I'm a baller. If that's me, I'm not doing a straight run up and I'm bagging it top corner, bottom corner. It doesn't matter. It's going in any corner. But that straight run up, I'm not feeling. Would he have given it to Marcus if Marcus was on the pitch? Maybe. And in that case, why didn't he maybe give it to Højlund? Højlund needs a Premier League goal. But I get it. It was the first chance of the game or to get a goal in the game. So didn't want to put pressure on the kid. Fair play. I hope Bruno... He's got an unbelievable penalty record overall, so we can't be too harsh. Still got to probably rely on him. And I'm glad that his head didn't completely go throughout the rest of the game like it could have. Other than that, like I've said, in the first half, I was a bit disappointed. We gave Chelsea a bit too many chances on the transition. They broke through us too many times and created a few decent chances. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson should have scored. Even in the end, Broha had a chance that hit the bar. It's just sometimes teams are finding it a bit too easy to break through us on the transition. I thought Mikhailo Mudryk, that's his name, yeah? I thought he was causing us a lot of problems, especially in the first half, because he came from the left into the middle and he was collecting it there. And I saw at one point, I think it was Lindelof that was shouting at Dalot saying you should have flowed your man because you haven't got anyone. So Dalot's sticking out on the right, but Colwill hasn't pushed up. So in that case, follow Mudryk because he's coming to the middle, and maybe McTominay should have been tracking Mudryk there. Maybe Amrabat should have been there. I'm not sure. Would have to watch it back to notice it properly. But a few times Mudryk was getting into the middle when he was turning on it and he started creating chances for Sterling and Jackson. That's something we need to be careful of and something we need to manage better and more communication. And maybe that's something that Ten Hag needs to look into. If a winger comes in off his flank and comes into the middle, who's going to be picking that up? That needs to be identified as soon as possible. The same way that Anthony was doing, but I think Mudryk had a bit more joy. He was a bit smarter with his decision making, a bit more technical. That's the thing. Anthony lacks that actual end product. I don't remember any of his crosses being amazing. I don't remember any of his shooting being amazing, to be honest. But like I said, I don't want to be too harsh on him. I think that was his best game in a while. And I love his intensity. I love his aggression, Anthony's. I loved his work rate today as well. Other than that, the only negative we could say from this game is the amount of missed chances we had, because that could have been a serious problem. Say, for example, in the first half, we didn't score from McTominay or we didn't get a second, and then Chelsea get one and they get another one. Heads completely drop and the mood completely changes in the club and the stadium and the fans, and then you end up losing the game. So we've got to be really careful because we created a lot of chances, and throughout the whole season, it's been a theme of our games. We've created really good chances and we've not been able to be clinical enough. And this is where Højlund also needs to come in and stick your foot in, get into better positions if you can. And like I said in the positives, I feel sorry for the kid because he deserved a goal so much for his work and ability. And the rest of his team haven't really found him. We've been so used to playing without an out-and-out number 9, out-and-out striker. It's like we don't know how to feed the striker anymore. We don't know how to create good chances for him anymore. And yeah, like I said, missed too many chances, and we could have been punished by a better team because Chelsea are in the mud right now. If they'd taken their chances, we might have really struggled. Moving on to the match roundup, I want to say, like I said, I've repeated over and over again, the aggression, the intensity, the desire from this team that we saw today, I need to see more of it on a regular basis. City have lost today and we're only 3 points behind City. And everyone's obviously raving on about City, rightfully so. They've just won the treble. But their team is so good and they're still only 3 points above us. I'm not saying that we're going to finish above City on camera. I might say off camera. But look, realistically, we're not that far behind. I'm looking at the table now. We are 9 points off the top. So top's looking like a stretch, to be honest. But top 4, we're only 3 points behind City, like I've said. So we can be positive, and we just got to take this energy and desire into the next few games. it's got to be the bare minimum. Like I keep saying, you're playing for Manchester United. Show some spirit in the game. Rashford come off the bench and I saw him running about a bit, trying to press a bit, and hopefully the team winning can start building up the confidence in the rest of the team. We've won, 6 out of our last 8 Premier League games, but it still feels really gloomy, and it's just because we're not performing well enough. But Everton performance, this performance, I think we could take some confidence from, and we've got to see that the work rate is the first thing that leads to a positive performance. And to be honest, we've also got to be a bit realistic, because this Chelsea team are whack. Honestly, I think they made it easier for us. I'm nervous. Looking ahead, we've got Bournemouth at home on Saturday, and I feel like, honestly, it might be a harder test than Chelsea, because Bournemouth, they're on good form. I think they won away today against Crystal Palace. And they put in a real shift. That Chelsea side was really open. I'm a bit concerned about the Bournemouth game, because I know they're going to put in as much energy or effort, if not more, than we will. But I'm hoping that we can see off the game and at least try and be clinical and get a little 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. A clean sheet will be much needed and give more of a boost. We need to keep grinding out these wins. We need to keep putting in work rate. This is Between the Lines podcast. Please get in the comments. Let me know who was your man of the match. I'm torn between Amrabat, Garnacho, McTominay, of course. And that's about it for the man of the match votes for me. Let me know if I missed out on anything. Let me know if you saw any other positives, any other negatives. This is a Between the Lines podcast. Make sure you share. Make sure you get in the likes. Press the like right now. Thank you for your support. See you on the next one. Peace out.
Between the Lines.